Okay, today we're going to review a topic that many people find themselves wondering about when they're on the hunt for a new property. Is your real estate deposit refundable? This is a great question, and we are asked about it all the time, and understanding it can help you navigate the home buying process just a little more smoothly. Spoiler alert. The deposit isn't automatically released nor given to the seller as typically assumed if the deal falls apart for any reason, and I'm going to explain why. My name is Kori Marin. I'm a real estate broker and co-founder of Fox Marin Associates, a boutique real estate brokerage located in downtown Toronto. This is my personal playlist on our channel, Real Estate Confessions, a video podcast for your unasked property questions. Here, I will answer all the questions you're afraid to ask, just one episode at a time. Okay, part number one. Often, a real estate deposit is returned to the buyer if there are conditions in the buyer's offer that aren't met. Let's say, for instance, you've made an offer that includes a condition of mortgage financing, but then the bank declines your application during the conditional period. In a case like this, if you can't proceed with your purchase because of the condition that cannot be met, both you as the buyer and the seller need to sign a mutual release form. This will lead to your certified deposit check being returned to you. The same would apply to an unmet conditions, including a significant issue in a home inspection, a low appraisal, or the inability of buyer to sell their current home, which is a rare condition to see in Toronto, by the way. Additionally, an agreement could become null and void for reasons outside of the contract's conditions. Outside of the contract's conditions. Common issues that can end a deal are a lien on a home, substantial damage to a property before closing, or if the buyer can prove the seller knowingly misrepresented the property in a significant way. Here's where things get a little more complex. What happens to your deposit if the buyer defaults on closing? When a buyer is unable to complete the transaction, the deposit is not automatically released back to them, nor is it automatically given to the seller. Both the buyer and seller must agree in writing before the funds are released. If there's a disagreement between the buyer and the seller about what should happen with the deposit, and as a result, the transaction doesn't close, the funds will be held by the listing brokerage until the matter is resolved between both parties or through court proceedings. If the seller thinks the buyer has not acted in good faith, they may refuse to sign any mutual release form and choose to hold back your deposit. If that happens, your deposit stays in the named trust account, and the dispute between the buyer and seller could become a legal issue. If a settlement is not reached, a judge could eventually release the funds either to the buyer or seller by way of court order. In most scenarios, if the buyer defaults, the buyer does not get the real estate deposit back and it's awarded to the seller. Moreover, the seller may even sue the buyer for damages, legal fees, and additional carrying costs. For example, if the seller needs to relist the property, but the property sells for $100,000 less than the original purchasers, the seller can sue for this differential. So here's the takeaway. If you're serious about purchasing a home or condo, make sure to do your due diligence upfront and do not assume anything. Make sure you're financially ready to purchase a property before you take this leap. And for bonus due diligence, explore adding conditions in your offer for those extra checks and balances, while totally acknowledging that it's not often feasible in a market like Toronto where properties often sell within hours of hitting the market. We here at Fox Marin really want to ensure you're not finding yourself in a situation where you can't move forward with your purchase later down the line. This is where working with an experienced mortgage broker and a great real estate team can make a significant impact to your confidence about your acquisition. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to finances and significant decisions like buying a home. Be informed, be proactive, and navigate the Toronto real estate market with confidence. If you have questions about the Toronto real estate market or any unasked property questions, be sure to pop them in the comment section below, or send me a direct message, or write to us on Instagram. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's an absolute pleasure to pull all these videos together for you. And don't forget to subscribe, like, or comment, and I will catch you on the next episode.